Morning, everyone. Welcome to Faith Unfiltered. How many of us look at what we have to offer? Our time, our skills, our resources, even our faith. And we think it's not enough. I mean, this is just the scraps, right? These are the leftovers after life has taken its share. And if we're honest, we feel inadequate. We see the giant that's standing right in front of us, whether that's a financial hole, a relational breakdown, a dream that seems impossible. And all we have is that little bit of energy, that modest bit of talent, that flicker of hope. And we're tempted to think, why even bother? This won't make a difference. But if there's a pattern that God loves, it's the pattern of taking what man thinks and the world thinks is not enough and doing something miraculous with it. Look at the famous account in John chapter 6. There's a massive hungry crowd. And Jesus turns to Philip and asks this question. Actually, Philip turns to Jesus and asks this question. Where are we to buy bread so that these people can eat? Now, this is a test. See, Philip does the math, and he says, look, it's going to take 8 months of wages to feed these people. It's impossible. But then Andrew speaks up, and he says this, there's a boy who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what are they for so many? That's the leftover mentality, my friends. It's something, but it's not nearly enough. And Jesus takes this humble lunch from this boy. He gives thanks for it. He blesses the not enough. And then he begins to break it and distribute it. And the miracle happens in the breaking and the giving. Not only is the crowd of thousands fed, but they gather up 12 baskets full of leftovers. This miracle began with the boys' humble, not enough meal, and ended with more than they started with. See, God didn't need the lunch. God could have spoken manna from heaven with just a word. But he chose to use the boy's offering. He chose to use the leftovers to build the boy's faith, to demonstrate his power to his disciples, and to meet every need that was in the crowd. This is God's economy, my friends. He specializes in multiplication. Being a math guy, that makes me smile. And it isn't just a one-time event. If you read Corinthians 9:8, it says this, and God is able to bless you abundantly so that all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. Did you catch that? God is able. His ability is the starting point. He takes our all things at all times, and his blessing on what makes it abound for our good work. Maybe you feel like your energy is just the leftovers at the end of a long week. Offer it. Maybe your budget has just a little left over after the bill. Offer it. Maybe your patience is worn down to scraps. Offer the scraps. The act of faith, the act of saying, God, here's my not enough. I trust you with it. That's the point at which miracles begin. So don't despise the leftovers, my friends. Don't hide the 5 loaves and 2 fish because they seem insignificant. Bring them to Jesus. Give thanks for them and offer them up. Because in Jesus' hands, your not enough is more than enough to accomplish his purposes. He doesn't just meet the need, my friends. He leaves you with baskets full of blessings that are left over, just to remind you who did the work. So today, what's in your hand, my friends? What feels small? What feels used up? What feels insufficient? My friends, that's exactly what God loves to use. Offer it to him and watch the miracle in your leftovers. Have a blessed day.